All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello.
Hey.
Welcome to Heart to Heart. It's loading. Welcome, you guys. If you're tuning in right now, just go ahead and share this video. Everybody, hello. But how are you guys doing so far, I guess? You guys look so lovely. Listen,
Man,
y'all got that oil. Y'all got that oil over there. I gotta go over there where y'all at. We are going to give you guys a few minutes just to tune in. If you're tuning in, go ahead and just share it. Hello, lovely. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way from Boston. Woo. Boston. Yeah, she's all the way in Boston tuning in. Ain't nothing but a devil now. Let me make sure everything is still on my end. So we have 8 viewers. Go ahead and share this video. You guys, did y'all enjoy y'all day so far, guys?
Yes.
You know, while we waiting on them, we just gonna have a little talk.
Let's have a heart to heart.
Let's have a little own heart to heart while we waiting on them to come on in. Did y'all enjoy Haitian Day? Like, did y'all do anything real?
Oh, actually, we well, I had a wedding, so I had a wedding to host. That was different, but you know, keeping it the culture.
Yep. Are you able to hear us? I think she's gonna refresh.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back. Okay.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, we're gonna go ahead and start. Come on in. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Lynn. How you guys doing?
Lynn.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Listen, I got 15 viewers, and I want you guys to share this video. We're gonna go ahead and start. For those of you that's gonna watch the replay, go ahead and just share this video. If this is your first time tuning in or watching Heart to Heart, I want to welcome you. My name is LudySaintil. I am the founder of Heart to Heart, where this ministry meets matters of the heart. We meet real people. We talk about real issues, and we give you guys the tools to overcome. This month, as you guys know, we started a series where we are basically showcasing couples that dated with a purpose. And the reason for this segment is because we want to encourage you guys who are watching to pursue healthy relationships with Christ being at the center. And without further ado, I just want to introduce my guest. Okay, they're not really guests to me. They're more like my older brothers and sisters. Can I just, this is a side note. I've been following this man ministry, y'all, like on YouTube. Never met him whatsoever, but he is a worshiper, okay? He translated Ty Tribbett's song, I Love You Forever, and I inboxed him like back in 90-something. He didn't inbox. He responded back to me like maybe last year, 2 years ago. But that's okay because God was preparing the table. Come on, somebody. So that the connection can be made.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just so honored to even, know this man of God and his beautiful wife who stand alongside with him to do this work that he is doing. So for those of you who are tuned in, listen, if you guys have any questions, okay, after this show, I want you guys to go to the wife, please, because I am not responsible.
I cannot. It don't be like that. Sis.
Listen, because sometimes you just have to, I have to throw that out there, woman of God, because, we have to put order.
Yeah. Order and protocol.
Of you, if you guys, if y'all want more advice, I encourage you guys to go to the First Lady. For the men, please go ahead and inbox Andy Michelle, okay? So without further ado, y'all show me some love, give me some hearts. Listen, give me some hearts, share this video, because we have the one and only man of God, Andy Michelle, and his lovely wife, K Michelle. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. We're excited, but we're good, man. Definitely good.
Yeah, so we're just gonna jump right into it. I mean, we're talking about relationships. You know, this topic is so popular, you know, and a lot of people, you know, we have, I don't know about y'all, but you know, your sister girl made a lot of mistakes. So I need y'all to speak life into me as we speak life into those that are watching. Praise the Lord.
Right.
Yep.
So how did you guys meet? Like, let's just go there.
You want me to go off? Okay, so first and foremost, we want to definitely say thank you to you as well, to Heart. I think you're doing an awesome. This is a form of ministry as well. The fact that you can take some time out to shine light on healthy couples, godly couples. Man, God is definitely gonna bless you 10 times fold. So the way me and my wife met is actually through a mutual friend. So Kevin Metellus.
Kevin.
Thank you so much. But mutual friend. At the time, I had just gotten out of a relationship as well, a 2-year relationship, 2.5-year relationship, and my wife had just come out of a relationship as well. And we were both at a point where we were not going to look. We were not on a hunt. We weren't searching. We were on a mission. And Kevin was just persistent. Kevin would go to her and be like, "Hey, do you know somebody by the name of Andy who was in the community?" And my wife, moving from Miami, didn't really know anybody here, never really heard of me. And then he came to me, "Hey, you know, man, there's this young lady at my church. I think you and her would kick it off great." And I'm like, "Bruh, nah, like right now, I'm not trying to do that." But he was persistent. That's why it's always good to have the right people in your corner.
Yes.
You know, a lot of us, we have friends that are pushing us to do everything but the positive, pushing us to do everything but the right thing. But if it wasn't for Kevin, who was persistent, I would have never, ever, I probably would have overlooked my queen today. So Kevin was that mutual friend that we had who just definitely got us, you know, to this point here. So
yeah.
Now you guys say that you guys were in relationships already before, you know, crossing paths with each other. And I know, Kay, you have a powerful testimony. The honor and, you know, just sharing, you know, your story with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Right before I met Andy, I was dating someone that I actually grew up on the block with. And prior to him, I had dated someone for almost, believe it or not, going on like 10, maybe 11 years, just on and off, you know, puppy love, that first type of relationship that kind of kicks off. You guys go back and forth, you know, then I moved and I kind of left it alone. And then he came right back around and, you know, we just helped each other through school, did different type of things. And unfortunately, when I say doing different kind of things, just kind of like, you know, meeting up at the park, going out on dates. Like he would leave Miami to come up, you know, here, or I would go down there if I was, you know, going to visit family. And then after a while, letting this young man in a second time was the biggest mistake I could have made because he ended up cheating on me. Now, without any proof, I must have been in a spiritual place where I knew that I was at the end of my rope. I was like, you know what? There are certain things that people tell you, you know, it's the truth. Like how bad of a lie could it have been to say I'm cheating on you and then say, oh, I'm joking. And I could just tell, you know, being with somebody for that long period of time, what was true and what wasn't. The worst part of it is he ended up getting somebody pregnant, and later, you know, with him hitting me up again, and which was like, how he got to me again? Like I done locked every door. I done took away every email, every password. I shut every door because I was done. I was really done. And even with him communicating back, found out that the young child was actually born on my birthday. So if that wasn't even bad enough that I had to suffer through the hurt and the pain, and then with the second relationship, we were friends. The gentleman at the time that I was dating before Andy was just kind of lost. You know, his mother did pass away, and it was just a lot going on. And I knew that I could not stay in that relationship, knowing that he was not getting what he needed to receive at the time, and I could not give it to him. And when I can't force a man to be a man if he's not ready to take that route. So I see you praising God. Go ahead and sip on that water. Yes, God. And you know, especially when everybody around him is saying, you know, the one that you got on your hand, you got to be careful with that one. That's not somebody that I'm talking about. People who've never seen me before and who would see me and would say, this is a queen that you have. If you're not serious, you'll let her go. And he wasn't really willing to do that because, you know, people have their reasons and we were friends. And sometimes you have to be the kind of woman to carry the certain level of caliber and say, I'm worth better. So I'm going to leave you right here. And then when I met Andy, this gentleman tried to come back into my life, and I said, I can't do that. I said, as a matter of fact, if I step backwards for you now, I will spend the rest of my life stepping back for you. And that's a definite no. So I continued to just meet up with Andy. And the first time we talked, we had a conversation. We didn't actually meet up first through Kevin. And then we were able to just kind of let it hit off from there.
Wow. Andy, would you like to share your powerful story as well?
So my relationship, one thing I always struggle with, and this is transparent moment 101. I've always struggled with self-identity issues. Not necessarily self-identity. I always knew who I was, but I lacked the confidence to truly be who I was called to be, So it was kind of like that low self-esteem, and I never felt good enough. I never felt like I fit, or just really living in the opinions and the borders of what people placed me in. So when I found my ex-girlfriend, it was, she was gorgeous. I mean, my wife is beautiful as well, but she was gorgeous. And for me, it was like, okay, now I can finally say, like, I have somebody. And she was kind of like that trophy girlfriend. That was kind of how, I mean, I loved her, and I still care for her now. If she were to need something, of course, I'd be there for her. But in my mind, this is the trophy girl from this person I can walk or pick up my skin. They even live it that way. Like, she really, like, when she's next to me, I felt like, okay, my confidence, but for me too, it was also a fleshly relationship. I was, we would, do things that we shouldn't be doing because we weren't married, and I'd get on the stage the next morning and I would lead a song, so it was very flesh based, very flesh based. It was my first serious relationship as well. But for 2.5 years, I was living outside of the will of God, and I paid for it. I paid for it. So, so when I met my wife, I definitely did not want to do the same mistakes, or not really the mistakes I did. I definitely did not want to take the same route with my wife, so that's why even when we first had our first conversation or first talk, it wasn't a meetup, it was a phone call, and from there, the way she actually closed the phone call was what really piqued my interest with her. The last thing I remember she said was, well, can I pray with you? And that to me caught my attention. I said, okay, cool, and she prayed, and after that we just kind of kicked it off from there.
So really quickly, how was, you guys both had, relationships that ended off rocky and shaky. How was the healing process like for you guys?
For me, starting off, the healing process was a little difficult because it was somebody that I knew. I expected nothing more than just communication. I expected that if the relationship was not meant to continue, I expected him to take full responsibility as a man, because one thing Kay will not do is I will not pursue a man. That is not my role as a woman. I don't believe in that. I believe that men were created to chase for a reason. And if you understand my self value, you will never lose the self value. So for me, it was tough because I expected for this individual to be the same one that pursued me, was going to be the same one that communicated and say, what's going on, like and not to say that I would remove myself from the equation of communication, but to basically say, hey, I know I pursued you, things are not really going right on my end. Just be real, because we grew up on the same block, we went to the same schools. Like, there was no reason why the breakup had to be just so sour. But I do want to be fair and say, at least with this last gentleman, he is somebody that I still respect, because we do, go way back. Don't necessarily have to go out of my way. He doesn't have to go out of his way. But if we see each other, because we are both in ministry, it is something that we could say hello, goodbye, I'm wishing you the best, all that kind of stuff as well. But the healing process for me was, how do I find out who Kay is? What does Kay like to do? Where am I spending my time? Am I spending my time with people that I care about? Do I absolutely have to have people with me all the time in order to suffice an emotion? Because a lot of people don't know how to be by themselves. A lot of people do not know how to enjoy themselves. So I find that what helped me was, I was already doing my own thing. I was losing my weight for no reason. I was working out. I was eating good. I was doing these things for the sake of me. And now they have become part of who I am, not because I'm trying to satisfy somebody else's perfect list.
That's good. That's
and I think that that ties in exactly to what she's saying in regards to me. So with my breakup, it was more on her end, where she just kind of said, "Hey, listen, I want to kind of call things off because I need to figure myself out." And I wasn't okay with that. Like, I needed more. I needed to know, okay, what's the reason? Like, why? You know, what did I do? And I started kind of going back into that self. Like, what did I do? Was it something that I lack? And really, you know, going back into that whole like low self-esteem issue. What am I lacking? What am I missing? But the way that I healed, believe it or not, goes back to what my wife said. I had to learn how to love Andy first, because if I didn't love Andy, there was no way I was able to love. There was no way I would be able to love somebody else. And until you can get to the point that you love yourself so much, you'll never be able to fully love somebody else, because you'll still try to find these things within you. Because watch this. When you love yourself, the things that you don't love about yourself, when you find that person, love will heal and cover those things that you don't love about yourself. So, for example, that my body, I never felt comfortable. When I would go to the pool, I would have a tank top, or when I'd be at my mom's house, or I would have a shirt. But now I'm at home with my wife. I walk around with my shirt off, because the thing that I'm not comfortable with, she loves that enough about me not to highlight that. You know what I'm saying? So when I was able to find that self-love, that's where my healing came. When I saw all the things about me that I love, I was able to walk into what I love, which now allowed me to be comfortable in myself enough to have to where she can now come in and love everything about me.
Yes, Lord. Now I'm gonna just kind of talk to my audience. I have 40 people watching. Are you guys doing something so far? Are you guys here with me? Are they doing a good job? Like, come on now, just talk to me, y'all. Are they not doing a good job so far?
You gotta just tell the truth and let the people know it's normal to go through these things.
Right.
We all go through it, and that's just all that really needs to be understood.
Thank you. They're saying yes, they're getting something. Yes, this is good. Truth, sir. Yes, hello. The comments are coming in. Make sure you guys are sharing this video. Invite someone. Listen, y'all know Facebook is high tech now. You can literally copy paste the link, because somebody about to get their life straight today. We're not gonna go back, okay? We're not gonna go back. Praise the Lord. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next question.
I think it froze again.
Okay, can you guys see me now? Hello? Did you guys see me okay now? I can see you guys. Hold on. Did you guys see me? Hello?
I'll tell her.
Did you guys see me?
You said?
Andy and Kay?
You got it.
All right, I think I'm back.
Though, right?
I think
Did
so.
you guys see me? I can see them. I don't know.
What if she's able to? Oh, wait, there's a little chat here. I'm here.
I can see you guys. I don't know what's going on. Oh, they probably can't. Okay. Hold on, you guys.
Oh, she said refresh ours.
How do we? Is it here? Ask her how. There's like like a refresh button. I don't know if that's in my eye.
For real? You okay? I see you guys fine. We don't see.
She said.
She doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Wait.
Did you see it?
I got something in my eye. Jesus.
Okay. Hold on, you guys. I don't know what's going on, but that's all right. It would end everything.
Are you able to see us?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. We can hear you as well.
Okay. All right, you guys. Give it up to the Lord. I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
Stop people's healing. That's what it is.
That's what it is. The devil's so fresh. All right. So back to our question. How it looks. Okay. All right, you guys. All right. Okay. Listen, devil, I'm not going to play with you right now. What you're not going to do, woosah. Praise the Lord.
Yes.
Okay, so how did God confirm to you this was your wife, and how did God confirm to you this was your husband?
The way that God confirmed to me that Andy was my husband is the way that he treated me. And it's been reaffirmed every single day. Mm-hmm. What he did in the dating stages have been consistent even through marriage and even during the tough times. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking about something as little as opening up the car door, sunshine or rain, mad at you, I'm going to act petty right now. You can act petty all you want to. I'm still going to open up this door. So little things like that. And then, of course, just the love and the care. I cannot say that the way that my husband loves me is how I have been loved before. So everything through the dating stage was just different from jump. The level of transparency that just kicked off from day one works perfect for us because we have an open communication, open doors. Like even when we don't want to talk, one or the other is going to be willing to have a different mindset just so that we're not stuck in a rut and in a negative place.
So for me, my confirmation was I definitely prayed because I wanted this to be the last, but like for real relationship. You know, mm-hmm. I didn't want to be the one who just kept jumping to this. It don't work, and it don't work. You know, kind of like a whole bunch of free trials, but at the end of the day, you don't find the very thing that works for you. So I definitely wanted to. I prayed about it. God confirmed it to me in a dream, and then after He confirmed it to me in a dream. My prayer, whenever I pray, I say, God, if you're going to show me, I want you to show somebody else who knows nothing about it. So I went to my mom's church just to kind of visit the church. And there was a older lady who was there, like an elderly lady who was there. And I'm going around, when you're greeting all the, the adults. And then she came up to me and said in Creole, Sakna meona sepoulie. So the one that's in your hand, that's for you. This lady didn't know I was dating. This lady didn't know I was talking to anybody. So with our relationship, we kept that like very private. So only our parents knew, and literally like maybe 2 or 3 close friends. That's it. We didn't want to, we wanted to make sure this was a God thing, and then it was an us thing. Mm-hmm. So after she said that to me, I laughed and I said, "What?" And she said it again, and then I dismissed the thought. Maybe about 2 weeks later, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, and then it hits me, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is what I asked for," and that was confirmation. And immediately after that, I asked her out. We courted for about 3
months, and then we became girlfriend and boyfriend.
Well, we talked for 3 months. Yeah, mm-hmm. we courted for 3 months, and then we dated for 5, mm-hmm. and then I proposed on the 5th month, which is November of last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now you said courtship. Now, for those individuals who don't know what courtship is, can you kind of just explain to us what's the difference between courtship and dating?
So for me, here's how I look at it. Courtship, when you're ready. Dating, I'm still trying to figure this out.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? My thing is, and people always say, well, Andy, how'd you know? And I know this sounds so cliche. I wasn't a big fan of it. But honestly, when you know, you know. You see what I'm saying? There should be no hesitation at all. If you know this is the person that's going to support me, I can see myself with this person for the rest of my life. I'm ready to take this commitment. Then I court her. So for me, courtship is kind of like, I wouldn't say speed dating, but it's kind of like speeding up the process. I court her, I get to know who she is. And before I even knew my wife, I was already in relationship with her parents. Dating, it's a little bit more, let me date you first and then I kind of meet mom. But courtship, I was already speaking to her parents because I already knew in my mind, I'm going into this with marriage on my mind. I'm going into this with the mindset of I'm going to marry this person because it was already confirmed to me and to her.
That's good. That's good. Now, we're talking about courtship. What boundaries did you guys set in place in your courtship so that you guys wouldn't cross, any sexual boundaries?
Yep. My biggest thing was, and then I am so comfortable with sharing this. I stayed a virgin until I met my husband and until we said our dues. I waited literally to the wedding night. Still ain't get none because I was so tired. but because our wedding was literally like the whole day. But one of the things that we wanted to do, and we tell this to our mentees all the time, to people that we mentor already, we let them know, don't set yourself up. Do not meet up in places that you know you will not have any control over your own constraints. Don't put yourself in places and in atmospheres where this and that is going to turn you on and have you start feeling some type of way. So meet up at places where it is a little bit more public and where you can't necessarily do certain things. So this way you're putting a cap on that lust.
And exactly what she said too. That was just the biggest thing. Like we would intentionally, make sure if we are going to meet up, if she was coming over to my house, at the time I was living with my parents. So if she was coming over to my parents' house, I made sure my parents, that they were home. Same thing with her. If I'm going over to her house, I'm not going, at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, because we all know 9, 10, 11 o'clock, it's a different atmosphere. It's a different setting. So, I would go to her house after church, for Sunday dinner when her parents are home, when, just to make sure, again, that these boundaries are not crossed. Now, did we get close? Of course we did, because we're human.
Right.
But with that said, we always had reminders like, listen, if we're going to wait, because watch this, I didn't come into this with sex in my mind. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Sex was just an added thing to the package. But I really came with, I need to make sure I teach her and show her how to be loved, how to be appreciated, how to be cared for. In return, I know that there are benefits that follow. You see what I'm saying? Kind of like a job. When you first, get on a job, you don't get all the benefits right away.
Right.
They put you on a 90-day to see, how your performance, how, tardiness and all this other stuff. So I was kind of going in, into it kind of with that mindset as well. So
this is a question that came. If a person mess up or had sex before marriage while they're courting, should they call it quits? What do you recommend them to do? How do they solve if they feel like sex has broken the relationship and, oh my gosh, should I end this thing?
Definitely not. If the connection is there beyond sex, because I think that's my thing too. You have to, I guess that person will just have to understand, like, you're in this relationship, like there has to be more than sex, because anybody can give you sex. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But there has to be something more than that. So, again, we're human. We fall short. We sin. But the biggest thing is, don't let sex now become the subject, because he's courting you for a reason. Right. He's courting you either with marriage in mind, or he's courting you because he wants to take that next step. So don't let sex now become the subject of courting. You know what I'm saying? But again, we fall short. We make mistakes. These things happen. But it's about, okay, look, we've made this mistake. Let's bounce back and let's, get back to where, we are, or let's get back to where we were.
I feel like it's something that would depend on the couple only because it depends on how you are connected to begin with. If it was a sexual attraction that got you, then you're going to keep having sex. You're going to keep, because now, if that was the very thing that is the foundation of your relationship, it's going to be hard for you now to say, well, let's stop doing this. That's almost a little bit unrealistic to the guy or even to the girl if the roles are actually reversed. Okay. So we have to start off by saying, if I'm getting into a relationship, what is the foundation of it? What is the points? And it's not so much what am I getting out of it, but your mindset should be, what are we going to come together to accomplish? Because if you have goals, then you will tackle those goals. You won't be focused on having sex. You won't be focused on hanging out in places that you really should not be.
Are you guys getting something tonight, ladies and gentlemen?
We hope so.
I got my friend here. Can I just show them your notepad, friend?
Glory.
You're not playing. I'm just. So if y'all don't have a pen and paper, I don't know what to do. Like, they're here all the way from Orlando to bless y'all.
Woo, all the way.
All of my new Orlando friends. How you guys?
Yes.
So really quickly now, I want to open the floor for some questions.
Yes.
I want you guys to think about some of your questions that you might have, or maybe you are in a relationship and you maybe feel like, you know what, I'm in a tough spot right now. I'm not sure if this is the man that God wants me with, or this is the woman that God wants me with, or maybe I made a few mistakes in past relationships that I need clarity on. Now is your opportunity to talk to couples around our age group that have overcome. Okay, because honey, he liked it. He put a ring on it. I mean, hello, somebody. Meanwhile, we still waiting. Okay, so I need you guys to just get y'all life together. Okay.
And Ludi, when I watch this, and let me just touch on this too. Like,
yes.
There's nothing wrong with waiting. And I really want to break that conception. I really want to break that mindset, because a lot of people feel like because I'm waiting, something's wrong with me. No, because one thing that I've learned, not every single person is miserable and not every married couple is happy. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled, because in the waiting, God is working. Trust and believe.
In the waiting, God is working. Go right there.
While you're waiting, God is literally working. Now, my thing is, the problem that I have with the waiting, you can't be stagnant while waiting. Right. That's why the Bible says faith without works is dead. You know what I'm saying? So you got to literally embody the mindset of a wife. That's why women that are independent, I applaud you. I applaud women that are independent. Literally, you begin to embody the mindset of, I'm already a wife. I got my things in order. Now watch this. On the flip side, don't let your independence now become a distaste or a push off for that guy. Because watch this, sometimes you're so independently minded, or you're so independent in your mind, that you now begin to push away the opportunities that actually are God sent. So there's nothing wrong with being independent. While you're independent, also be discerned and have that discernment. So when that person comes along, God says, this is the man or this is the woman that I have for you, so you can walk into that.
That's good. So we do have a question.
Okay.
I'd like to know, what are some...
Oh, God, it froze again.
No. Can you see it?
I hate that. Okay.
Yes. I'm here.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, what's the
question?
So the question is, okay, so they coming in. Hold on, y'all, because I got anonymous questions and hold on. Okay. So one question came in, and she says, I'd like to know, what are some ways she's been helping him as the helper we are called to be as a woman?
Okay. So some of the things that I do to make sure that I'm that helper is, number one, what I can do as a wife behind closed doors to support the Andy Michelle that you all know. I do that on a daily. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Kay cook, Kay cleans, Kay does all of that. But there's times where, and I think that we did something like this last week, where I called my husband up and I said, meet me at this place. I'm taking you out tonight, whether you like it or not. You know, so being different and knowing the language of my husband, understanding, yes, he's very busy. You know, I'm supporting him in the sense that any gig that I can go out with him to have his back in, I'm there, because it could be very difficult. Note this, for some of you guys that are single, that are in ministry, or you guys are out here working, it could be very, and it can get very lonely because you're out there, you're by yourself. Mom and dad may not be able to come. Friends kind of lag off. Everybody does their own type of thing. Whereas I try to support my husband from the littlest things to the greatest, you know, so all the things that the Bible tells us to do. So I'm not just this figure that just only cooks and cleans, but I do everything that I need to do in between. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I know you got a couple of clientele coming. What do you need me to do? I even put that servant hat on, take off the other hat of cooking and cleaning, all this other kind of stuff. And then I'm like, you know what? What do you need me to do? You need me to update the contracts? No problem. You need me to do this? No problem. And guess what? It's not only a one-way thing. My husband knows how to also pay attention to my needs and put that servant hat right back for Kat.
That's good.
Sorry, y'all. This room is very dusty and it causes my eyes to get
Listen, honey. I'm just gonna enroll in your class, Kay. So just send me the application. Thank you.
Here's what a lot of people don't know. My wife is my biggest supporter behind closed doors. Okay. Here's why I say that, because like she said, my life, with everything that I do, with everything that I have going on, what y'all see, believe it or not, and she hit it on the nail, is one of the most loneliest places ever. Only because people are always coming to me in the sense of needing to be refilled, needing to be prayed for, needing to be covered, needing to be, you know, and I'm the person, and not that there's anything wrong with giving. I love to give. I'm the person at a drop of a hat. Listen, I will give you the shirt off my back. Now, I'm not going to give you my tank top because I still got to work on the body, but I'll give you my shirt. I still got to be covered, but I'll give you my shirt. But my wife, not only does she cook and she cleans, but my wife, she prays, she worships, she covers me. When there are things that are literally mind-boggling, she'll sit down with me and says, okay, you know what? Let's figure this out together. She literally breathes life into, if there's something I say, babe, I got this idea, and I'll give it to her. If she doesn't hear me revisit the idea, she'll say, babe, okay, what's going on? What's up with this idea? How can I help you? So she's literally that supporter behind the scenes and on the scenes. Like, she plays both roles. So one thing that she says too, those that are in a relationship and who are seeking to be in one, you have to know what your love language is. And that's one of the biggest things. Like, you got to know what your triggers are. Like, for example, my wife knows I'm the kind of person, Mondays, we don't normally talk about work because, you know, Mondays are one of the most stressful days. It's kind of picking back up with the week or whatnot. But, you know, on Wednesdays, it's the middle of the week. I've already had 2 days in. Now we can kind of talk about the work week and what's the plan for the weekend. But she knows these things about me. My wife won't just jump at me like, you know, on a Monday, babe, how was work? Because she know, you know, I'll probably, and if she does ask, I'll say, babe, you know what? Let's not talk about it. And then that's enough for her to know I'm not even going to push the envelope because I know today wasn't a good day at work, you know? So it's really knowing triggers, boundaries. Again, your language. What is your personal language and what's that other person's language as well?
Yep. Now, before I take on the next question, now, I know, was it last year you were recently ordained as a...
Yes. It was last year. Yeah.
Last year.
It was 10 days after we got married.
You know, 10 days. So for those individuals who are dating a young minister, like you said, you know, how do you balance being a minister and your relationship?
So this is my personal opinion. This is my personal ideology behind it. If you are dating, it's not your ministry as of yet because you are still dating. Right. So you should, this is me personally. My wife met me while I was in ministry, but she never took anything that I did because we were not married yet. Now that we're married and we're joined and we're one, now it's her ministry as well. To the point where even when I'm writing, so here's how we kind of balance it and still keep the marriage afloat. So for example, you know, my services are normally held on Saturdays. So sometimes on Fridays, Thursdays, I find myself, even Wednesdays, I'll find myself preparing my sermons, preparing the topic where I kind of want to go with it. So what I do is I don't let this be a place of this is just me, let me figure it out. I now open the door and I allow my wife to say, babe, how about this topic? Babe, how about this scripture? Babe, look at this. So now we literally, it's my sermon, but it's our sermon, if that makes any sense. So I allow her to kind of come in. So what we're doing, we're still working together as a couple. Now we're studying together as a couple. Now we're reading verses together as a couple. And then we also still find time throughout the week to pull away. One thing that I've learned is if I were to drop dead now, I know I have a great leader, I have a great pastor. Church would thrive. So what we do is we're committed and dedicated to our church, but also we know that my marriage, our marriage, that's our first ministry. That's the first ministry. So we make time. We'll go to church on a Sunday morning. We'll catch first service. We'll catch second service. Then we'll know, you know what? We're going to go out on a date. We're going to go out on brunch. We're not going to do anything else church related for that, because we know next week, Tuesday, Bible study, we're there. Sometimes after Bible study, we'll go and we'll get Italian ice, or we'll go and just get that midday break that we need. So it's all intentional. You have to be intentional. That's all it is. You got to be intentional with it.
Yeah. One of the things that I think is also important is understanding that we are both in this together. And not only that, we're evenly yoked. We're both worshipers. We both sing. We're both very much so involved in the church. So it helps, because if I was dating somebody that was completely the opposite, it would be a little bit more difficult to be able to balance out everything, because then the person is going to have to feel, well, let me stop doing what I'm doing because I got to support her here, where Andy and I get to do it together. We both have to be responsible for church on Saturdays and on Sundays and different ministries that we are part of, because we understand that although we're married and although we are one, we're two different individuals that God has ordained to be placed together for a similar purpose. So I think it's very important to understand that you need to be dating somebody from jump that has been given the same responsibilities as yourself. Because if my husband can't preach one day, you better believe Kay's won't be up there.
Amen. I know that's right, girl.
Listen.
Listen. So this question, should someone still date if someone else is for you, but the timing is not right?
That's a good question. Should someone still date
if someone else is for you, but the timing is not right? So
that's a little bit of a loaded question, because how do you know that the timing is not right for a specific individual? And even if you had that type of insight, why would you then bypass that opportunity and continue to date? Because that means that you're putting somebody else's feelings, you're putting somebody else's dating aspects in the way of a risk of not actually it being turned into anything.
Can you ask me the question one more time? I want to make sure I understand the question.
Yes, if you, the person that's that asked me, if you want to restate the question any way or form you can. Should someone basically this person is for you, but the timing isn't right. That's what I'm getting. But I'm still gonna date.
Right. To me,
yeah, no. I mean, for me, that's a big problem, because now you're going against something, and when you go against things often don't seem to work out, because watch this, you go against it, it doesn't work out. Now you're frustrated with that person, but in the beginning you should have never jumped into it, because the timing was not right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's something that I kind of say all the time in regards to myself and Andy. A lot of people don't know that where Andy's parents' house is, the church that I was going to when I met him was 2 blocks away. I've been living in Orlando for more than 10 years. When Kevin told me about Andy, I had no idea who Andy Michelle was. Now watch how divine and how funny God works out to be. Little did I know, and I want to say after a couple conversations, and I think he's so slick, y'all. He done stopped by the church house without Kay knowing, so he wanted to do a little surprise visit. So when I finally saw him, and I'm like, there is something familiar about him. And when I looked back, I recently noticed that I had seen a video about Andy. That was as if God was showing me who my king was getting ready to be, but I just was not in tune. I wasn't paying attention in regards to what was currently taking place at the time. So I said all of that to say this: with that individual, it's kind of hard for me to say yes, it would be okay, because again, you would just be jumping into something, wasting somebody else's time. And I gotta be honest, if you know somebody is for you, but it's not the right time, just wait to see if it's really gonna come around for real. And don't do anything within your own hands. Just wait to see if it would be confirmed.
I have a question that just came in I'm looking on somebody this is actually all the way from Canada, but this person said, if God tells you no, that's not the right person for you, even if it's the day of your wedding, should you cancel or should you still get married?
Bro, I'm canceling. I'm running out the door. I'm canceling. Goodbye. Bruh, I'm gonna be out. I'm changing my name. I'm changing my do. I'm out.
Here's my thing. I'm sure that God told you no before the wedding. I'm sure God told you no before the wedding. So, and it's so funny because I know people who have literally gotten to the altar and they've said no, and it's one of those things. When it comes to God, ain't no feeling bad, ain't no hurt feelings, ain't no, listen, when it comes to God, if God says, no, this is not the person, hey man, listen, it was great knowing you. I know you paid a lot of money for the ceremony. I do apologize. Let's work on a payment plan and let's try to work something out. But I am not going against what my Father wants for me.
Awesome. So we have another question. Listen, y'all giving me life with these questions now, honey. God ain't put no brows on because I would just wipe it. So someone says, I feel like most guys that are approaching me in this season are straight fatra. Fatra basically means this is your one-on-one Creole. Okay, fatra being that we just celebrated Haitian Day. Hello, somebody. Fatra basically means trash. And I'm getting discouraged because I'm not sure why this is happening. Honestly, it's making me very closed off. What do you say to the single women who is waiting and keep getting disappointed? Oh, let's go there.
Because it's a woman.
Go ahead.
Keep doing you. Keep pouring into yourself. Trust and believe. I was attracting guys that was like, bruh, buddy, you know I'm out of your league. Like, I'm not even at the best, and you trying to come at me, and I'm still not part of your league. But you just got to keep going because, again, you can't let a distraction stop you from your destination.
Ooh,
you cannot.
Sando!
You can't let a distraction stop you from your destination. I'm gonna say that.
Wow.
Listen, you still got to go on. You still got to do you. You still got to be looking good because watch this.
Oh.
If you get distracted and you start doing. Could you stop?
I'm sorry. That's just that. I'm a.
That's the word.
Listen, I was there, so I understand what they're going through, and I love my single ladies because they got to keep pushing. You can't get distracted from where your destination is. Because watch this: if you get distracted, you're gonna have that man waiting on you. You're gonna be pausing for every single low life, non-worthy individual because you keep stopping for the distraction and you're not focused on the destination. So focus on the destination. Keep doing you. Keep dreaming. Keep pushing. Keep slaying. Keep putting goals on top of your list and keep accomplishing them so that way you don't have to worry about the distractions because they're going to come.
Now, on the flip end of that, and I love it, on the flip end of that, let me say this. You have to make sure, and this is not to that individual, this is just in general, you have to make sure too that you take a look at your inner self, do a self-inventory to make sure that there's not something about you that's attracting this fatiga or that's attracting this trash. Because if I see a trash can outside, right, automatically human nature tells me I'm putting trash in the trash can. So as women, as young women, and as young men, because watch this, that could have been a female who asked that, but what about the fellas who are attracting all these good women as well, who come in, who just want a free meal all the time because you're going to take them out, right? So you got to make sure too, because watch this, if you on Facebook flashing your money and you got this, of course she's going to come in that dictator, Bahama Breeze, Red Lobster, Benihana's, and all this stuff. So you got to make sure that you're not attracting make sure you're not attracting what you don't want, pretty much.
Right. Absolutely.
So these questions are just coming in. Okay, so can a minister be romantic?
Right when it froze. Right. Jesus, hopefully she come back in.
You gonna come back in, sis.
Oh, let's wait. Hold on.
Okay, hi, I'm back.
Sis, if you can see us, refresh. Let me see if I can send you a chat.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, we got to refresh. She said we need to refresh. All right.
How you did it?
Okay,
last
wait.
time?
We're going.
Hold on, guys. We're coming back.
This would be an easier way to refresh. Okay, but wait. Now we're not.
We're not necessarily centered.
Wait, can you see us? Are we?
I can see you guys.
Okay.
Like both of our faces?
Can our audience see us?
Like our necks not cut off?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
As
long as y'all here, we good.
Oh, we gotta go all the way back.
So, could you guys see me though?
Yeah.
Okay. So this question is: can a minister be romantic while they're courting?
What would be your definition of romantic? I ain't trying to get trapped up in no question. Break that down for me.
That sister girl, whoever asked that question,
come on,
can you
put a follow
up?
Come
on, you can just elaborate just a little bit more.
What's your definition?
While you thinking about the question, we're gonna move on to the other question. Mm-hmm. How long should you wait for someone to be ready for a relationship before you?
Honestly,
just from a young man. That's a beautiful question.
From a young man, how long should you wait? Honestly, one, after you've gotten your approval from God, I don't think there should be a wait. You see what I'm saying? Like for me, for this, and this is my personal. After I went to God in prayer, God confirmed it to me. God confirmed it to her. It was just one of those things that we made a decision. Hey, listen, if we're both ready, you guys both have to be ready. Because my thing is, I don't believe in 50-50. I believe in 100-100. I'm gonna give you all, you give me all. So my thing is, I'm not gonna, pour my time, invest my time, my patience, my money, my strength in somebody who's not ready. If you're not ready, I'm not saying, okay, jump up and move on to the next thing. But if you're not ready, okay, we have to figure out why are you not ready. And if there's something that I can do to help you get ready, then let's do it. If it's, whatever it is. But I don't think that, again, that's just me. I mean, and again, I don't know. Everybody's just different. My wife, for me, she didn't make me wait. It wasn't a waiting game because I think there's something, and this is to my men, there's something that women love a man who's confident in the sense of, I know what I want, I know what I need, you are it, let's make it happen. There's something attractive. So my thing is, you sitting here playing the waiting game, you sitting here trying to figure it out, you sitting here talking about, let me get a taste, let me see if I really like it. And she's like, yo, like, just tell me you're ready and I'm ready, and boom, let's make it happen. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that there should not be a waiting game. Once you've been given the approval, let's make it happen.
So the person did come back. Physical touch. I guess now I'm gonna go. I think I know what you're talking about, sister girl.
I think I know too.
So I mean, holding hands. Holding her by the waist. Giving her a little step on the booty cheek. Letting her know that.
Yes. Let me make sure.
I mean, is it okay? Is it okay, elder man of God? Can we do that?
Let me speak for myself. I don't want to give. Let me speak for myself. So that's for good. Me, again, it goes back to the boundaries that you set in the relationship prior.
Correct.
So me, I'm PDA. I'm public display of affection. Come on. See, I'm PDA all day. One more. I'm one more for the road. Listen, I'm PDA all day, every day, because my thing is, that's my wife and I'm proud. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So my thing is, but again, while we were dating, there were certain triggers that I would not even allow her to you know what I'm saying? It just goes back to once you set the boundaries. So I've held my wife's hand before she was my wife. We would go to the park, we would hold hands. I'd put my hand around her waist. I'd smack her behind, from time to time. But then again, I knew my limit. There was a limit. You know what I'm saying? I know my triggers. I know what gets me there. I know. And the thing with her too, she knows her trick. Like she knows, like when we were dating, we would kiss. I'd kiss her, first it started on the cheek and then it would progress, we kissed on the lips. But then again, she would know not to let that kiss leave the lips and go to my neck, because that's a trigger, because she know that's one of my triggers. Yep. Same thing with her. I would never kiss, her earlobes. That's a trigger. You know what I'm saying? So when we when we took time to learn about these things and we knew each other and we knew the triggers, we made sure that we would never cross those lines until we got married.
Yeah. I actually want to make sure that people understand, even with me, of course, women, I mean, we all have these little triggers. Andy was very, very careful. Listen, he was so careful because it was, okay, I'm going to hold your hand. And then, of course, the holding the hand, you get to a little intertwine and you start getting a little close and all this other kind of stuff. But for me, he treated me the way I treated myself. So because I treated myself with respect, he couldn't just go on the first date,
Right.
Grabbing for the behind.
Right,
No,
right.
You have to just kind of gradually wait and kind of read off of that communication with one another until you guys can feel comfortable with one another.
And let me say this too. One of the biggest things for me, being that me and my wife, we both experienced, certain things in our childhoods, I was never afraid to ask her, hey, is this okay? Mm-hmm. Is it okay if I hold your hand? Are you like, you can't be afraid, because watch this. I'm not a psychic. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Right. And because I'm not a psychic, I can't just assume if I put my hand in the back pocket of her jeans, she'll feel comfortable. Right. Now, you got women who may not say nothing, but they feel very uncomfortable. And that may be the reason why they call it off, or because, and my thing is, being that sex was never the go-to thing for me, I had to make sure that my wife was comfortable throughout. Even still now, I'll ask her, hey, babe, are you okay if I hold your hand? Are you okay if we go to a wedding and they call a married couple to come up? Would you be okay? Even still now, I still ask, is this okay? So it's all about communication, definitely.
Which is key because things change.
Yes.
Just saying.
So someone says, how do you know that God says no?
Listen, let me ask you this. How much more confirmation do you need, sweetie?
Come on, Status.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, watch this. It goes back to this too. If you have a relationship, and I'm not talking about waking up on a Sunday morning, Saturday, whatever, just going to church, get the worship music. Yeah. If you have in your face, boohoo moment, like, I know my daddy and I know what my daddy wants for me, you'll know when God tells you no.
Yeah, you will.
You'll know. Because everything that you will do out of self, it won't work.
Can I just make sure that people understand this? I want to make sure that it's clear. My very, very first relationship, where I did explain, gentleman ended up cheating on me. I was actually his fiance. And let me tell you how God told me no. My ring that he gave me, I had to take it to the store 3 times because diamonds kept falling off. Right. So little stuff like that would take place. Like a diamond would fall off, you go back to fix it, and it fall out again. And even though I was gracious to return the ring, Buddy called me up and was like, you just had to let this be broken. I'm like, nah, that's just God. Because look, 3 times I took it to the store and it done, fell out. So people just gonna have to understand that you will have your own way of recognizing, God is telling me no.
So, and I think with that too, and I think there's a perfect analogy that I could use with that. But you have a lot of people when they go to the beach, sometimes in the water, there's red flags. And sometimes the red flags now watch this. You can spot the red flag while you're on the beach. You don't necessarily need to be in the water to spot the red flag. But you got people who are so curious. You got people who are so tech. They have to actually swim out into the middle of the water. And when they get to the flag, to make sure that the color is truly red. By the time they get there, they've almost gotten bit by a shark. They've got stung. But it's like you saw that the flag was red when you was offshore. Right. God already showed you the red flags. He was already calling you out of your name. He was already telling you what to wear. You decided, well, I'm going to give him another chance. Watch this. Some people that you give second and third and fourth chances to should have never deserved a first chance in the first place. So my thing is, don't overlook the confirmations that you have already, the dreams, the people that say, you know what, I can't really see you with him. Don't be like, girl, you just hating on me. No, baby, I'm trying to let you know I can't really see you with him because there's something about him. There's something about her. The minute you connect, you now become a different person.
Yep.
So don't ignore the confirmations. And then you can't get mad at God. God is like, bruh, I've given you how many confirmations and you mad at me? Like, so definitely make sure you are in tune.
Y'all hear no, please.
What I like that you said that you have to have a relationship, because I know when I was dating the devil's brother, praise the Lord. Oh God.
Jesus.
Oh my God. Oh God. Oh Jesus.
Come on and
when I was dating the devil's brother, because you know sometimes when the enemy brings them now, they be fine, you know.
Right.
And I like my brothers with a little beard gang, and you know I don't really do the keyboard abs and all that stuff. I like them with okay, I like the little pillowcases. Oh, come on, somebody. If you're out here and you're watching this, oh, come on. I'm telling you, you better catch what I'm saying now.
Talk to him. He's looking at you. Talk to him. Speak to him. Right?
Oh, I'm talking to you. You better position yourself because I'm talking to you. All right. So, I like them with a little belly. You understand? Because I don't really like the little ab things or whatever. Because I can put the little oil on the belly. Praise the Lord. And when I need to lay my head on the pillow, oh, come on, y'all better catch that. Okay, so when I was dating the devil's brother, now God sent the warning signs. He sent Hurricane Irma. He sent my pastor. He sent. And you know what? And for some reason, but because he was fine, you know what? I wanted to stay in the position. Wow. But what happened was I didn't have no peace. I didn't have no peace. So that's one way that you will, whoever this is for, I don't know who this is for, but if you have a relationship with Christ, you will have you won't have peace dating the devil's brother. Can somebody type God blocked it for a minute? Just God blocked it.
God blocked it. That's it.
Oh, bye-bye. Oh, listen, let me drink some water because y'all not listening.
Hey, you know what? Here's just to put the icing on the cake. Here's what I love. When God blocks it, shuts the door, locks it, please don't go back and try to open that door back up. Just stop. Yep. He shut that door for a reason. Yeah. Now absolutely. It's gonna hurt. It may bring you to a lonely place, but again, it just goes back to what I was saying. God is working and you're waiting. The door is locked. Keep it shut. There's no need to open it. There's no need to delete pictures, delete messages, delete phone numbers. Yep. Matter of fact, change your, if you got to move. If you feel like, man, I'm going to keep going back, move. Do what you, and make sure your parents don't have, because watch this, sometimes our parents don't know the stuff that, because sometimes we often want to do this on our own and we don't want to, but so when we break things off and mom is like, well, mom, I know you did, but don't talk to him. Don't call him. If he's calling for me, asking for me, you don't tell him anything. Because sometimes it's not us, but the people that we're connected to that try to keep that door open.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord, man. I'm trying to tell. Are you guys getting something tonight? Because I got 52 viewers and I only got to share the video because listen, you guys have to understand, even though I am, God has entrusted me with this vision. Can I just tell you guys, I'm also a student. Every time I have a speaker, I am being taught. Like there's something I have not arrived, y'all. I just told you I was the devil's brother, y'all. And I haven't arrived. It's a process. It is a process.
Definitely. I agree.
So listen, the lines are still open. I'm going to go ahead and take a few more questions. Now tell us so we're going to get a little fun. Where are some places you advise singles to go who are ready to date? Like, are there any places you recommend us? Because, down here in Fort Lauderdale, it's a dry and weary land. Because I don't understand. Me and my friend here, we ready to give. We just gonna leave that alone. Just go ahead and just tell us. I don't know. I feel like the Lord is telling me to move to Orlando. I don't know if that's the voice of God or not.
That's him. That's him. That's confirmation, right?
God, I know I have a relationship with you. Where do you want me to go for?
Come on, you listen. We got an air mattress with your name on it, right here.
Oh God. Oh God.
And we got 2 hours to bring your friend.
Listen, I'm ready. Listen.
So this is gonna sound maybe a little funny, but believe it or not, one of the places, bring him to church. Listen, when you bring him, this is just for me. Like when I brought my wife to my church, like it wasn't really like a date or nothing like that. I just brought her, but that was a chance for me. Like I'm a big observer. I watch a lot. Like I people watch, and I literally watch my wife go into moments of worship. And it wasn't like where I had to stimulate her. It wasn't where I had to, like when Pastor said stand up, I didn't tell her like, hey, stand up, because if she was missing certain cues in church, she would miss certain cues in the relationship. If she was missing certain things, you know what I'm saying? She's like, write it down. She would miss certain stuff. So honestly, believe it or not, I would take her to church. I also took her out to eat because Maybe the way she was in church, she could be a worshiper in church, but don't know how to eat in public. So I took her out to eat. And there are places where we went out to eat. It was finger foods. I got to see, can you still be a lady eating finger food? You see, do you know how to hold a fork? Do you? And these are all things. And again, these are just like my standards that I had. Everybody has different standards, but I got to make sure, you know, when you're done, you're not going to lick a plate in public. You know what I'm saying? I like, but no, listen, you laugh, but these are, I got to make sure if you're eating a soup, you're not slurping the soup. These are really, and then not only did I take it to public, but now I took it to my mama's house. You see what I'm saying? Taking it to mama's house. I got to see, are you able to automatically pick up on certain things? And one of the things my wife did, I remember, and my mom always told her no. All right.
Yeah, what did you hear last?
Yeah, what would you like?
What was the last thing? Hold on. Did you guys see me? Am I here?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So, the servanthood.
Yes. So my wife has always been one, you know, so I said church to the restaurant and then bringing to mom's house. Mom's house. From there, I was able to see how she would, you know, how is she in a family setting? How is she in when, you know, in a setting where it's just me and my mom at the house and she's there. And one thing about my wife, she was always ready to help my mom. If she's ready to help your mom, she's a keeper. Honestly, if he's ready to help your mom, he's a keeper. Because watch this, no son is going to treat his mom the way that he would treat his girlfriend or treat his fiance or treat his wife or whatever. So if he's treating his mom with care and love and just with understand that she's such a, you know, because me, I'm a mama's boy, you know, I know certain things, but because I've always been a mama's boy, I'm now able to understand how to treat my wife. You know what I'm saying? So bringing her to the house. My wife was always a certain, just the spirit of servanthood. You know, she'd make sure she get her meal first. She eats first. And then she's in the kitchen without being asked. She's washing dishes. Or when my mom is serving food, you know, she's not sitting down waiting to be served, but she's serving as well. She's getting plates and she's putting rice on the plate and different stuff. I go to her house, I'm doing the same thing. You know, my wife's house, it's my house. If this is a dirty, I jump in. My mother-in-law hates it, but that's just how I was raised. So I mean, your upbringing definitely plays a role when it comes to your relationship as well. So, but I don't know, babe, like where would you say take somebody?
You got to be open-minded because it just goes back to the love language again. You got to know what the partner likes. Like me, some people may think that I'm like a cheap date because I'm like, listen, y'all just can't be taking care out to eat all the time. To me, that could be a little boring.
Right.
Take me to play kickball. Take me to the park. Let's go work out together. Let's watch a movie, and then the next time we kind of do something completely different. Let's actually have a couples night. Let's do, stuff with other couples that are married. That's going to be big for people
dating,
who are
married or dating. That's
yes.
that has literally been the pivotal point of our relationship. Not necessarily to save it, but it's kept our relationship afloat when we're able to connect with other. And we do not. Let me say this: we do not connect with every couple. We do not. We're very selective. We're very selective, but we do connect with other godly couples and just to get their insights on what works for them, what doesn't work for them. Even dating. I remember when we were dating, it was crazy because when me and my wife were dating, we had some of our close friends that were dating as well. So we do something where we're on I think for your birthday, we're on a dinner cruise.
A dinner cruise.
But it was like all the couples going together, and just to kind of build that friendship. And I think actually my best friend who was dating, he's now about to get married next month. So it's to see it progress from dating, from friends to dating to now married life. So now that's another couple that we'll be able to include in our daily lives as well. So
So I have these are my personal questions. Now we're talking about, I like the fact that she has a relationship with your mom. Now, what if there were friction between your mom and her? Do you think that would have influenced your decision-making and making her the one?
Not at all. Not at all. I love my mom. I love my mom, but the Bible even says it comes to a point where a man must leave his home. I would definitely, I respect my mom. I respect every word of wisdom, word of caution that she's given me. But because it was already God ordained, even if there was friction, I believe because this wasn't a God ordained thing, God would have to reveal it to my mother as well, because God already revealed it to me. And watch this, even if there was friction or there is friction, again, it just goes to boundaries. I know that this is my wife. This is the decision. You don't have to like her, but you will respect her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just one of the things that you just, again, boundaries just have to be set when I'm dating. Now, don't don't mistake that for, if you're unequally yoked with somebody and your mama's telling you munza se babu, don't be like, well, you will respect them because this is no. But again, if it's God ordained and this is something that God is telling you, yes, I'm giving, and I'm not sorry. I know we keep saying God, but at the end of the day, every decision that we make has to literally be based off of Him. So if this is something that God is showing you, God has revealed to you, even if it weren't to work out in the midst of, or amongst our in-laws, boundaries have to be set. One thing that we made very clear with our parents, at least with me and my mom, I know both of our parents are very open-minded. If y'all seen my mama, y'all know my mama's just out there. She's crazy. My wife's mom as well. But one thing that we made clear in our relationship is when we get married, we will not talk about our sex life. I know Haitians are very petite, but we, with us, we nipped that in the bud. We told them from the jump, hey, listen, we're married. We know you love us. We know you want the best for us, especially in the bedroom, but this is our private life, and we will not talk about it. We will not discuss it. We're not going to make jokes about it. Right. And our parents respect that enough because we set those boundaries, Right. So again, it just goes to boundaries.
So we have two questions. One came in anonymously. The other one is, when do you think is the right time to date? Like, I feel like I'm ready, but how can I be sure?
Let me let you answer this, and I can jump on after.
The question one more time. When do you feel is the right time to date?
She feels like she's ready,
but she's not sure.
Again, the approach has to be different. I feel like before you put yourself out there when it comes to other people, especially in this day and time, you have to be sure. So whatever it is that's causing you to find that you're not necessarily sure, fix that. Make sure that you nip it in the bud. Now, you're not going to be perfect about every encounter that you have with everybody else that's out there. However, you need to be sure about you. Once you're sure about you, go for it. Then you can start putting yourself out. And I know everybody has their own way of, either doing dating sites or letting their friends kind of know I'm on the market, kind of like putting it out there. And that's fine. But I would say until you are sure of yourself, you're confident, you know that you're beautiful, you know that you have goals, you know that you have done whatever it is you have to do to be you, then you should be in proper position to be dating.
Let me say this. I think that person already kind of answered their question. Dating is also a step out on faith. Yeah. She says, I think I'm ready, but I'm not sure. You are ready. I thought the camera's here. If you feel like you're ready, you've done what you needed to do. Mm-hmm. You've kept yourself. You've maintained yourself emotionally, spiritually, physically. You're strong. Yeah. Then step out on faith. You will not know if you're ready until you step out. Yeah. Peter never knew he was ready to walk on water until God said, walk out. Even watch this. Even when you're ready, you're still going to fail. You're still going to make mistakes. Yeah. But it's the fact that I took that first step. Yeah. So now when the occasion rises again, I'm sure if Peter had a second chance to walk on water, he would have done it with ease. Yeah. Because he did it the first time and he experienced it. So you're ready. Walk into it.
Dating is a step out on faith, girl. Right?
Yes,
right.
Yes.
So, my question to you is, how do you feel about Christian couples traveling together in the courting process?
Ooh.
So when you go, come back so that y'all ain't sleeping. I'm not playing no games, because everybody asks me when I do put it out there, Kay, how did you even make it? I'm legit for real. If we go, or like, for example, I know there was a time where he and I wanted to go down to Miami for some kind of conference or whatever it was. Guess what? I got family in Miami. He does as well. Yeah. You stay up in Fort Lauderdale. You come back. You come pick me up at my aunt's house. I'll catch you on the next thing popping off back to Orlando. Do not fall into that trap. Y'all gonna travel, go somewhere that y'all can drive on back in the same night. make no trips, ain't nobody staying at no hotel. Cut all of that off.
Right.
We can't go to the cruise. We can't go on a cruise.
If we go on a
y'all
cruise,
better have separate bedrooms.
The separate bedrooms on a different side of the ship where all of the girls are on the bottom and all the guys are on the top. Figure something out and make sure that you're traveling with somebody who will make sure that will happen.
And you know, and honestly, I know that may not be the case for everybody. Yeah. But again, it just goes back to self-control. Like I said, I've been to Canada. My wife actually surprised me. This is when we were courting. I was in Canada for an event. I was leading worship in Canada, and then my wife just popped up. You know, but like my wife said, she already made plans where she has family in Canada. Now we still found time. It's so funny because we still found time in Canada to go out and enjoy each other. Yeah. But watch this, we weren't alone. So I had my friends in Canada say, yo, let's meet up. My girlfriend is here. You know, I definitely want to take her out, see the side of the mountain, whatever. And they gathered, my wife's family gathered, and we came together. But it's all about intentions. It's really all about intentions. If you know the fact that if we even hold hands, clothes coming off, then you make sure we're not putting ourselves in any position to do that. But we've traveled while we were recording, especially for the sake of ministry. But again, we made sure that we did not cross those lines and didn't cross those boundaries.
And don't pack for nothing funky either. Like, you leave your thongs at the house.
Right.
Really
she went down. She went down.
Thongs at the house. Leave all of that at the house.
The thongs, leave the condoms.
Stuff. Dude, you got to bring your moo-moo with you. Look.
Bring the girdle.
Bring the
fellas, leave the condoms. Leave all of that stuff.
So that you won't even got to worry about none of that.
Come on now. Are you guys getting something? I don't know if you guys are here with me because the way that I give me like
so real.
Listen, I don't even know. I just want to shout, but I can't shout. This light right here cost me some money, and I need this light to cause the glow. Okay, so listen, we're gonna get ready to wrap up, you guys. So listen, I need you guys to, you know, if you guys have any last minute questions, I want you guys to go ahead and write them down. We still have them for a few minutes. Now, I do have one question.
Yes.
Now, some people, they have a list. Like I had a list all the way down to this right here going down. Okay. And you know, the Lord told me to give up on the list. Praise the Lord. He told me to give up on the list. So how do you guys feel about a list? Having these expectations, he got to have this, he got to have that. Like, did you guys have any expectations?
Yes. The list is okay.
And it's normal. Now watch this. God took my list and he made it so true for me. And I'll tell you what, he purged everything he knew that I was going to not need or didn't even need or, you know, was not a necessity. You know, he gave me that worshiper. He gave me that person that was respectful. He gave me somebody that had, you know, the 5 C's. You know, he had his own car. He had his own cash. He had his own career. He had, listen. You know, he had his own whatever, so I didn't have to necessarily worry about that because I know what my downfalls could be when I'm dealing with somebody who don't have their own and having that big heart and all this other kind of stuff. So you can have your list, but trust that when you write this down and when you're praying about it, God is going to give you exactly what is on that list.
Yeah.
You know, so I asked God for somebody who was a worshiper. I got exactly that. I said, I want to be able to connect with my husband musically because that to me was important because to me that's entertaining God's ear as a couple is a different type of worship that only a husband and a wife is able to do.
Yes. Definitely. I'm weird in this sense. The list was actually attractive because the list allowed me now to literally stretch myself beyond measures. Oh my God. The list that she had, I didn't look at it as, girl, you got too much standards, or I can't meet you there, or can you scratch some stuff up? No, the list really allowed me to tap into myself and tap into resources I never knew existed. So there's nothing wrong with the list, you know, and I think if there was something wrong with it, God would have never said in the word, I will give you the desires of your heart.
That's right.
But he says, seek ye first the kingdom of God. Once you seek my face, you better come out with that list because I'm going to give you exactly what you asked for and more.
That's good. Did you guys get that? Now, I like, you said something about purging, you know, like God was able to purge all the things that you did not like. And I believe that when you have a relationship with Christ, he begins to, you know, sift you of what you want and what you
Right.
That only happens when you have a relationship with Christ. Because once Now I was dating the devil's brother. I thought this was what I wanted, but when I got in the situation, I was like, Lord Jesus, this is not where it's at.
Right.
I had to change my mindset. So that's for some of you that are, trying to get into more of that, whether the list is bad or with it's good. No, somebody wants to know. Oh, come on. Somebody says, when y'all writing the book? Somebody got.
That's good. That's good. This is why I love our fans.
I think this
Here, let me see if I can get some more light.
I think this should be. That's probably not gonna work.
That's a little better.
That's it.
That's it. Right there.
Well, right now we're trying to work on the 6 babies that God has said that we are supposed to have. Actually, the Lord, me, because I'm Lord over her. No, but the book is something that has been popping up like crazy.
Yeah.
But we're definitely gonna stay in God's face and just pray. We don't want to just write a book because it feels good. We don't want to write a book because we know that's what everybody's waiting for. But we definitely want to write a book that's gonna be revolutionary and literally just change lives. My thing is, I want my goal out of this, even doing this, I was so excited because my thing is, growing up, our Haitian parents, I say Haitian because I'm Haitian, but growing up, our Haitian parents, I don't think they would have ever had moments of transparency like this. I don't think, our parents are just so private, behind closed doors. We argue, we fight, we do what but then we come back as if nothing's wrong. But I want this generation of new couples, this generation of new men, because believe it or not, these couples that are getting married are younger and younger each day. They're getting younger by the minute. But I want to create a community of married couples who's like, I'm happy to be married, where marriage is not a burden. Marriage is not like something I just have to do, or it's part of my agenda. I got to make time for this. Oh man, it froze again. Did it freeze again?
There?
She froze. She froze completely.
She froze.
Okay.
Here.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't want it to be where like marriage is a burden or I have to do this. But I really want this to be like a revolution. Like, yo, we're married, we're happy, and we're proud. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like winning souls for the kingdom, we should be out there trying to win couples for God as well. Absolutely. Like, we should be out there not like playing matchmaker, but like, pouring into married couples, pouring into couples who are into ministry, pouring into like people that are saying, look, I'm ready for the next step. Cool. What do we need to do to make sure you're fully prepared and that you're ready to walk into this? So the book is definitely something that's been on our mind. Videos have been on our mind a lot more because we know it's easier for somebody to hit play than to pick up a book. And so that's something, even with Ludy, with kind of pushing us to get a YouTube channel. So there's a lot of different things that we're working on and definitely things that are in the works.
So now, for those of you that are my friends on my Facebook account and IG account that are now live, I want you guys to look at the social media handle, andythemc. That is his IG account, Andy the MC. First Lady, I don't know if you have an IG account, but
what I'll do is I'll send it over to you so that way you can share it.
Well, just say it right now since it's live.
Yes.
Listen,
I can.
It's so simple. Just put KAY_C Michelle.
C Michelle. All right. So all the ladies that are following me, I would like you guys to go ahead and follow First Lady K Michelle. All right. Now, again, if you guys want to get connected to them and you feel like, you know what, they ask you the question and you're just not too sure, or you want a more in-depth response, please go ahead and just reach out to her. For all the guys, you may be struggling in something and you want a more in-depth answer. We have Andy Michelle, who is an ordained elder, who is very legit in his word. Please go ahead and feel free to inbox this man of God so that he can, steer you all in the right direction. That way you won't fall into temptation or, fall on the wayside of this thing called life. Did you all get something today? Did you guys all get something today?
Yes,
also, you have Snapchat. You also have a Snapchat. Can I please get the Snapchat information?
Snapchat.
Listen, I don't be on mine that much.
I don't even know. So my Snapchat.
In the social media.
So my Snapchat it's also Andy the MC, But it's Andy Michelle 89. So AND as in dog, YMICHEL 89. Andy Michelle 89. And my snaps, listen, we're not the couple that talk about each other all the time. Okay, I got my personal life, she has her personal life. But we also have our lives together. That's one thing about dating and relationships. You still gotta have your own separate life to where you can still be you, but when we come together, we're powerful together. So man, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. My Snapchat, it's a lot of my wife, a lot of different events that I do, but also a lot of my mama as well. And I do daily motivation, daily encouragements on Snapchat as well. So make sure you guys connect with us in anything that you need, prayer to advice to whatever. We are more than willing to do that.
Yes. Also, we would like to hear from you guys because I know there was so much of you guys watching. I want you guys to take down my email address, and I would love for you guys to tell us how you enjoyed the show because I know that Mr. Michelle and Mrs. Michelle went in on today. So if there's some nuggets, listen, if there's some nuggets that you guys have, please go ahead and write down my email, hearttoheartludy@gmail.com, because again, these individuals came here to basically share their testimony. And again, we wanted to encourage you all. All right. This was the whole mission and vision behind this, is to encourage you guys to pursue healthy relationships.
Yes.
You are in a toxic relationship and you know the hand of God is not in it, get out of it. And if you have recently broken up with somebody else, it's okay because God has your Joseph. I like Joseph. Everybody want Boaz. I'm tired of Boaz, so go with Joseph.
You said I'm tired of your ass. What'd you say?
Boaz. Boaz. Everybody want Boaz. My Bible said Joseph was fine. He was built and whatever. So I'm gonna go write that.
I believe God. Somebody's Joseph is, and he might even be Haitian. I believe Joseph was Haitian in the Bible, but you listen. Somebody's Joseph is out there. Somebody's Samson is, because Samson was a good guy. Samson just chased the wrong thing. So somebody's Samson is out there. Somebody's David is out there. Now, if you know, just because David was a man after God's heart. So your man. Matter of fact, look, I'm gonna take it a step further. Somebody's Job is out there. This man is rich, got a lot of money, a lot of money. Listen, we'll go through trials and tribulations because he loves God so much.
Yeah. So Andy, you're gonna be here this Saturday. Woo! Like, isn't that amazing? So for those of you that are here in Fort Lauderdale, that lives here in Fort Lauderdale, you will be able to meet Andy Michelle. I will share the flyer and my wife. Okay, they both will be here. Okay, you guys will be able to take pictures with them. Okay, listen.
I like how she just This is our PR. Ludy is our PR. So anything that you need in regards to us, please contact Ludy.
Listen, if you just tuned in, I have not met these people yet, but we were. Listen, we just related. We just gonna claim that. So you'll be able to please go out and support this event. Like, just go out there for the event. I'm gonna share the flyer. All right, and connect with them. So I'm just super excited about everything that was shared today. Miss Michelle, you did an amazing job. Mr. Michelle, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Guys, listen, I love y'all. So you guys.
I was gonna say just one last thing, man. When it's to the viewers that are watching, please support her. This is something that is literally gonna change nations. It's gonna change relationships. It's gonna heal and save relationships. So please make sure, heart to heart, you support it. You share the vision. Matter of fact, the next time I see this show, with the support that we're going to give her, it's no longer going to be in this house. It's going to be in her own studio. I'm speaking it now. She's going to have a camera crew. Listen, she's going to be interviewing couples, celebrity couples. We're speaking it now. Support her, share, like. Watch this. She may need a new light. She's not going to ask. Tell her, hey, what's your cash app? I just want to cash app some money into this ministry. So go ahead and support her. Supporter la pile fois. Nous gen moun nan communauté qui fait bon bagay, nous plutôt prend ça pas bon pour nous supporter, mais mon bagay la kay ka fait. Mais mon bagay, oh yeah, she's Haitian. They ain't know. She's Haitian. I had to bring a Haitian to my mama. But moun ka fait bon bagay nan communauté, on nous supporter. Ludy, you got my support, you got my wife's support. Whatever you need, if we got it, man, it's yours.
Thank you so much. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, share this video. Somebody needs to hear what this beautiful couple shared today. All right. I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.